And you're not listening. It is your choice to make a little mockery. It won't do. Further down the line, still surrendering, trying harder to forgive you. Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door has closed, not a sound. Take a look as I am now. Still I smile and don't speak. Will you please slow down? Slow down, slow down, slow down.
Seeing monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep, you pretend though. You don't have to play the hero. Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until our last breath, every heartbeat. You know I'll come running. You go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. side by side. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you sound the alarms and the chaos is rising, leading the charge, I'm coming, I'll fight. I swear on the breath that I breathe, I'll never retreat, yeah, I'll be your army.
Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm sad to say I'm sorry, so lie. Pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. And so I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. Life kept spitting at my feet and forced me down a dead-end street, when all I had went up in flames, burning only dark remains. I cover up every part of my skin, oh, 'cause I don't like the person within. Oh, I know I'm the one to blame. All I can do is take the shame. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm too sad to say I'm sorry, so lie and pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. Whoa, I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. So I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. Sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize.
Oh no.
intertwined, and you're not listening. It is is your choice to make a little mockery, it won't do. Further down the line, still surrendering, trying harder to forgive you. Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Doors closed, not a sound. Take a look as I am now. Still I smile and don't speak. Will you please slow down? Slow down, slow down, slow down.
Seeing monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep, you pretend though. You don't have to play the hero. Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until our last breath, every heartbeat. You know I'll come running. You go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you found me alone, when the chaos is rising, leading the charge, yeah, I'm coming, I'm fighting. Swear on the breath that I breathe, I'll never retreat, yeah, I'll be your army. When your nightmares turn to real life and the ground's filled up with landmines, we will face it, standing side by side. You know I'll come running when you need. I'm coming. You know I'll come running. You go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you found me alone, when the chaos
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
Left behind, and I've lost everything. Forever living in the dark. I feel so alive. Still remembering what I want, but it ends with you. Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door has closed, not a sound. Take a look as I am now. Still I smile but don't speak. Will you please slow down? Slow down. Unreal intertwined, and you're not listening. It is your choice to make a little mockery, it won't do. Further down the line, still surrendering, trying harder to forgive you. Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door has closed, not a sound. Take a look at
Something to prove here in the upper division of the DPC League. We're jumping into the draft of a game one between Alliance and HighCoast. We got Purge on the big screen, Kyle and Tikov here with me as well. And Purge, I'm just gonna straight up ask, like, what would you like to see from HighCoast? Because so far they haven't really shown that they deserve their slot in the division, upper division.
I don't know if I would say they haven't shown they just don't deserve it. I think they had, they definitely look like one of the weaker teams. That's really obvious. But I think their 0-3 score doesn't really show that they're close to being able to compete. I mean, two of the teams have to lose here, no matter what. And it's going to be probably one of those bottom four teams that won their qualifiers. But I think they have some moments of strength. And there was going to be some teams that just underperformed. So I think they have shots. I mean, obviously, they're really going to struggle here to get out a bottom two, but they still have pretty decent players. They just need to clean things up a lot.
Yeah, this is a good start. Coddle Ember saw Liquid use this opener to great success. I'm sure OG will at some point pick it, and it is, I think, my favorite combo, even more so than the Coddle Bristle. Coddle Bristle, wow.
It just follows Era to whatever team he goes to. So it's Era, and I think the coach is OKC. They're big Coddle fans. No matter what team they go on, there's always going to be a Coddle Ember at some point, which, if they can execute it, this can be good, but otherwise it's that predictability that sometimes comes out, especially when you're coming into week 3 and you're kind of showing this as your kind of big reveal coming into a crucial series. It might kind of bite you in the butt.
Yep, Wyvern, rather Monkey King, we saw this in, who was it, GPK? I think this was a CIS region, but he just hunts the Coddle. You know, camp the trees, find him. They have a really nice setup as well with the Wukong post Wyvern ulti from trees if they try and, if they catch HighCoast pushing.
Yeah, the important thing here is it simply is kind of like Alliance's trump card in the draft now, because they can decide exactly where it goes. We've seen it been running the off lane, it can go mid, and wherever Ember goes, it's going to be a little bit kind of awkward because Monkey's presence naturally does kind of outweigh Ember's.
Dire team ban.
Got a troll on the Doom ban coming out as we are hitting this second ban phase. The bump in the road, as Kyle likes to call it. The bump in the road. The flow just all of a sudden stops. But this is the time where the teams, like the openings, you can theory craft these like all day, right? You just know these openings. But this is where you really have to start formulating a plan for your draft.
This is where you kind of get into the head of the drafter, because these 3 bans indicate either if they respect more what's going to be coming in the future, or if they want to cover what they've already picked. So for example, for Alliance, they picked this Wyvern, but they're still banning out a Troll. And for example, Beastmaster, natural heroes that are countered by the Wyvern, more because they're scared of like the big picture of HighCoast draft, rather than what their already picked might be able to bring to the table.
You said it. You can script the openings. I would imagine most teams do with all the time we've got to prep, but this is where the mind games begin. You try and identify the pattern. Some teams keep it simple. They'll just be like, okay, well, we picked our safe laner, we'll ban 3 off laners. But I think when you reach this level, there's a little more complexity.
You can't do that for sure, yeah. If you have that kind of level of drafting, when you get to, especially like upper division, that's what picks you apart pretty much from the top 4 to the bottom.
What do you guys think about the Winter Wyvern in the first phase? I'm a little surprised to see it picked since almost nobody's touching it.
I think the hero is just not very good right now. I think it'll make more sense as Alliance continues, but I think the DP ban from HighCoast is the sort of thing I like. You got to get rid of it, because the Death Prophet with these heroes like Wyvern Monkey, I think activates the Wyvern because it has a hero to play around. You can't really ever expose yourself as this Wyvern, and you need heroes that go forwards. I've always loved Wyvern as a concept. It's just so weak in lane. We saw in the previous series, it's got like, what, 30-something base damage? It just doesn't feel good at all.
I think the important thing is, though, it's the Alliance coming into this series, like Chessie, he doesn't really play these lane-dominating offlaners. So I've seen so far, his transition from mid to offlane is very much his hero pool.
That's a good point. Beastmaster and Enigma are like unplayable into this hero.
Sure, yeah, they still banned out both of them.
Okay.
But well, it's the idea that I don't think they not respect, but they don't expect there to be this big kind of action offlane coming in unless Chessie's kind of practiced some new heroes within the couple weeks. So I think Alliance are just covering themselves, potentially the Charlie hero pool that might come into play later on.
And we also talked about, for Alliance, that we like to see them set up S4 for success, and his biggest success were on the Timbers and the Beastmasters. Which other heroes for him are remaining in the pool that he could really shine on?
It's tough, because I don't really like to play against Cuddle Ember, assuming that's the lane. I think LC is a potential. Bat Rider, Timber, yeah, they want to get rid of S4's heroes ASAP.
Against Cuddle Ember, the simplest way of looking at it is you either look for high armor hero to deal with the Slight, or you deal with a natural regen hero to deal with the Illuminate Blast. And you can, for example, like a Night Stalker or a Legion, like any of these offlane heroes that have a bit more kind of, I exist in my lane, they can do pretty well. Yeah,
the Death Prophet ban was like the best one, because I'm sure you just grab that here. If not, they go clock to hunt the Coddle even more. But
it's not that hard lockdown though, so it's a bit
they have no real disable for this Ember now.
Yet.
I mean, is that fully true? I mean, that's not like easy disables, but they have stuff that they can chain together at least. And their ability to like pressure towers. Like Coddle's ability to defend the tier 1's can be so rough now because of all this vision. So
that's true.
If Alliance is going to have tons of vision, like all 3 there so far can spot them potentially. So they should be able to take towers, take map control, and then make Coddle feel like a weaker support basically.
Yeah, Alliance are a very snowbally team where I think they play their best once they have these strong lanes and they can enter the game with this ability to swarm the map as this kind of cohesive bundle. So for sure, based on the clock pick, it is exactly what Purge said.
Is there any space for an Aegis Prophet? I ask because obviously we saw an Aegis Prophet be very successful, but it's not banned. And I do realize that Wyvern and Clockwork are most likely the support duo on the side of Alliance.
I wouldn't like to see it because you do nothing to a Cuddle Ember in lane, so you're going to be put in an awkward position.
It's tough against all the hunt.
Double
Spirit. From Alliance, I imagine we're going to just see Limp's hero come out Void Spirit seems most likely, but I almost said it. SF
The one
block.
time.
Almost said it.
The one
SF.
time Kyle doesn't say SF.
The one game. The one game
No,
I don't.
Pudge, he did this in the series earlier. It was the same SF pick, same position. Carl had the same actions. Bless him.
He's been talking about SF for weeks now.
Yep.
Nobody picked it. Finally, it comes
It's so good here.
on the ball.
A BKB SF deals more, effectively pushes the entire trio of High Coast away. They have not nearly enough damage to deal with him. You've got Clock, you've got a Wyvern. So you replace, well, rather, your support duo doesn't provide too much damage, but you have Vision. That's what SF loves, because if you have Vision, you can farm significantly faster than almost any other hero in Dota, and you have nothing but damage. You ooze damage. It comes out of your pores.
I think as well, though, they are double downing on the fact that Ember, whatever lane he goes to, should be upset. If he goes mid against SF, sad. Mid against Monkey, sad. Safe lane, if they do offlane Monkey, kind of sad. You know, it's like, it's making the this early Ember pick a little bit awkward.
That's a good point. And usually the heroes that counter SF are the hard carry, typically, like these high physical damage gap closer heroes. But having the Ember already kind of like makes that more difficult to fit in their draft now, since the Caudal Ember seems like such the obvious dual lane. It's a bad position to be in for High Coast here.
I'm so mad I didn't say it. It was such a good pick.
I will say my only fear for Alliance is I'm looking at the pubs from their players, and I'm not seeing any Monkey King really be present there. So this is going to be a strategy that I hope that they've been practicing within the scrim department, because in the pub scene, doesn't look too hot.
Are you saying you didn't scrim them?
But SF is also going nuke first, double mango to start. So it's similar to how Pucks used to be able to play against. Yeah, you shove the wave, you double wave, you get soul advantage, you control runes. It's just very skill based, and a hallmark of a good SF is that you beat TAs, or at least trade.
The real question is, do you think Alliance predicted the auto TA, so they picked this clockwork to deal with the Coddle, and they might go for the cheeky little cogs soul play that we've seen years ago? Days have passed since we've ever seen that.
I think you do, right? You have
could.
SF Clock.
I'm not a mid expert,
you know
but
what?
it could be the cheeky little play.
I don't think you even need it. I think Lim's just gonna say nah.
Nah,
It's like going to the gym. Do I need gloves to lift this? No.
Do I need to
You're barehanded.
Yeah.
That's not a problem.
One-handed, all right.
I mean, it's a little worse now because they changed Necromastery. Remember, you don't need as many souls, but the problem is you only get 1 damage per soul at level 1 right now.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Whereas before you used to get 2, so you'd be giving him like what, 5 damage?
Yeah.
And get
You know, it's actually kind of bad,
clockwork.
actually.
And
Thanks,
aren't
Pudge.
the minute zero fight, aren't the runes super important to fight
Yes.
around? You can't waste time in a fountain for that long if you're gonna have these.
I don't know
5
who would
5
suggest
engagements
doing
in the
cogs
forest.
on Shadowfiend. That's actually terrible. Oh my
It
god,
used to be good.
Yeah,
It used to be good.
Throwback.
We used to,
We
Throwback
got a
Tuesdays,
Slark
it's fine.
band out, so it looks like HighCoast is assuming that S4 will be playing the Monkey King.
Yeah, for sure.
I can see that. I think that makes a lot of sense after the way this has been picked up, because it's still going to fulfill its purpose as a 3, and you're going to get more value out of a last pick on Nico Baby's hero.
And you have the lifesteal as well built in, so you can have the sustain against the Coddle and the right click. So yeah, I like the Monkey King going there.
And much like the way OG was playing Monkey King offlane, they paired it with Naga Siren for the setup. Well, you could look at the same thing with Winter's Curse. Winter's Curse could be that setup for him to get in and drop a really good ulti, stun follow up, and have their opponents be in a bad spot. So it kind of makes some sense. It'll be better than a typical offlane.
Yep, I agree. You just want to pick. It's a pretty. The Ember is a little sus against it, but I think a PL for Nico Baby would make a lot of sense here. Just something that deals with TA. I'll be curious to see what build Limp goes for, because the traditional way you'd play against it was with an earlier Manta. I don't know if he'll go for the Yule's Arcane Blink BKB instead.
We got a Viper ban coming out as last ban for Alliance.
Yep, they're banning offlaners. Oh
Sure.
no.
Hey,
Don't worry.
he
played
I know
pubs,
he's
mate.
played pubs.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Don't worry.
All right,
You don't have a game like that and not like mega grind to like get more confident on the hero. So I'm sure he'll be fine.
In case people are you know, upset or confused with this reaction. We saw Chessie play Mars in their first opening series against OG, and it did not really work out the way they wanted it to. So, yeah.
More Icarus than Mars.
He missed some crucial spears
Casual
that
rip.
cost them some kills, and it certainly lowered their, removed their ability to win the game. So it was like some small-ish mistakes, but game implication-wise, it was huge. So you can't make those mistakes here.
Yep, but as said, I mean, you can't, as you said, you can't have a game like that and then not practice it afterwards, because Mars is one of the good ones right now in terms of the offlane.
Yep. This is a statement game from High Coast to Alliance. Yep.
Crazy.
Casual Wraith King.
Casual Wraith King.
Surprise!
I don't know if it came on the mic when I muttered it to Carl, but yeah, casual.
Alliance have their bread and butter. Like, this is just they're going to outscale. It's a solid draft. High Coast, you picked a lot of statement heroes. I mean, Coddle Ember, a TA mid into the SF, Chessie on his Mars again. Like, this is the kind of game you got to win.
Yeah, the important thing is, though, is simply if High Coast get the better lanes coming out, the greed from the cores, you know, they all need to have a good game. Like Monkey, he has to outplay his lane. The Shadowfiend needs some items. Wraithing needs the jungle. If there's no access to your own jungle because everyone's running into it, suddenly it's hard to find farm. You're playing on the back foot. So I can see how they do it as I sit down.
Control. All right, Purge, what do you reckon?
I do like the Mars pick. It's going to be really effective against Monkey ulti. You can spear him out, gives them some needed disable. I don't have a huge amount of faith in TA as a hero right now, though. And they've got some good hero counters, so they have options, but Alliance is definitely the better team, so they should be able to take the win.
All right, Kyle.
Yeah, I would agree with Kevin. I think that the clock is going to make his presence felt up top as well. Probably start bottom, but any rotation behind Mars is a dead Chessie, and I believe in Limp. Like, I just think that the lineup's going to have a BKB timing that's unstoppable, and I just don't believe in TA anymore as well.
The better of the brothers, Limp. Limp versus Chessie. We didn't even. I mean, we didn't even mention it.
Into each other, so it kind of doesn't matter.
I know, but it's still brother versus brother. It's not the only brother matchup that we have in the scene as well. It's fun to talk about. For people that don't know, Chessie and Limp are brothers. So there you go. You favoring Limp here too?
I'm favoring actually the Wraith King. I think the simplicity of a Wraith King, especially on Alliance, you just tank one arena, tank one Ember jump, and suddenly the fight's yours. So yeah.
All right, simplicity at its finest. Will Alliance take this one home, or will we see High Coast make a redemption arc here? We're going to find out with Cap and Fogged.
Yeah, if they want a redemption arc, it's going to have to start right here, right now, because things have been looking good, Fogged, for High Coast, and they certainly, a win against Alliance would certainly be a statement win, for sure.
Yeah, and they've got, you know, some comfortable heroes and some really strong heroes currently in the patch, and, you know, Chessie has been saying he's practiced the hero a lot, like the panel talked about. He did have a rough showing on that one, and I feel like his game is pretty important for their entire style, because he's the one who's just going to detonate the Shadowfiend pre-BKB, right? We know that the Limp is going to go for this BKB at some point early in the game to counteract this Mars, and we're going to have to see Chessie just really dictate the pace of the early game with his rotations and how much he's able to impact with that big arena.
Now, we did not see the Clockwork Cogs play for the SF, as the panel was kind of talking about, and ultimately saying, no, that's not going to be a play because Necromastery only gives you 1 damage now. So not worth the time, apparently. And Alliance are going to try and get 3 bounty runes here by posing very aggressively on one side, while S4 just chills out on the high ground to get the 3rd bounty rune for them. So nicely done. Fuck, I got to know. What do you think about Winter Wyvern? Since we saw the previous series, it wasn't super impressive. Let me throw some stats at you real quick. 10th worst base damage, 13th worst starting armor, 15th worst base movement speed. Like, this is just not a good stat hero to start.
Yeah, wow, that's actually really surprising. And an ability that has a 50-second cooldown at level 1 too. You know, one of the longest cooldown regular abilities in the game, like Vacuum. But that's some nice stats you got there. I like that. Yeah, hero is really weird to make work, but I do like when a team sets it up with combos. I think that's one way that you can make the hero look and shine a lot more. Don't make it just about the curse. Don't make it just about your splinter. Make it about the setup for your team, so you have just this overwhelming team fight to engage or disengage at your choice.
So in this case, you're referring to, okay, we're going to Winter's Curse and then get Requiem, or we're going to get off Wukong's command, or potentially both.
Exactly. Just any type of setup, at least. I like more when you have more ways of setting it up, so the fact that they have 2 is perfect. Like, I remember when we watched OG, even remember when they were doing like the offlane Wyvern and they would have the Lina for Jerax? Stuff like that. Just any type of follow-up for this curse just always makes it look a lot better rather than just, oh my god, there's a lot of summons, I'm gonna click curse.
Okay, and what about how do we deal with Coddle Ember Spirit? We heard the panel say, T-Governor, I thought was very smart. He said, okay, you want a hero that either has very high base armor, so you can deal with a sleight of fist spamming, or some sort of natural regen. Monkey King actually fits both of those.
Yep, feels perfect. I love when I see them get this dynamic. You pick the Monkey King, you pick the Shadow Fiend, and you just force them into Ember Spirit's gonna have a bad lane. He's not gonna go off lane, so you just force him into this bad. Nice by Charlie dodging that.
Yeah, that was a sweet little move there to make sure he didn't get the Jingu stacks.
Yeah, and I love the Clockwork pick with it. I think it touches everything they really need. You know, getting into the backlines, giving the vision, getting the initiation for the Shadow Fiend to protect him. So I think they've covered their bases very nicely. And looking at Shadow Fiend versus this mid matchup, looking at Limp is doing really, really well versus TA, like Kyle was mentioning, a master of the matchup.
Yeah, Kyle's saying pretty much this is going to be a matchup that Limp is not going to back down from, a matchup that he knows very well, and a matchup that displays the skill. It's bottom lane, they're going to get aggressive here, see if we can see our first blood as FNG is being gone on, but he's going to play around the trees here, does throw the Splinter Blast, so it bounces over to Era. So they kind of trade out damage here quite a bit. Era's actually getting low enough. Another Splinter Blast almost finished him off. Fortunately, the spear is there. A healing salve. Can they cancel it? No, he gets the roll away just in time. So he keeps all that regen flowing in. A close call, but no first blood yet.
All 3 lanes already starting to get taken advantage of Bum Alliance, the way they've set it up. And they even get a pull up top, and they even get Zibby inside the cogs. It looks like he will survive, but they get the side pull and they defend it. So more farm denied from Charlie, and the lanes just continue to go in the Alliance's favor.
There we go again. Splinter Blast is going to bounce over, hits Era. Jesse, again, forced to defend with the spear, but now he's out of mana. Era looks like he may have to make the long walk back to base.
Pretty fortunate that the Wyvern's also playing versus a double melee offlaner, so even more merits for FNG. The first pick Wyvern is looking really good, honestly, versus everything he is up against.
Yeah, that is certainly one of the things about it, right? You're matched up against some sort of Rubik, Lina, Wind Ranger, any of those heroes. Wind Ranger's not going to feel so hot. Winter Wyvern, rather. But double melee, you could abuse that for sure.
And even getting into like the later stages of the game, it was your last pick Mars that Wyvern can fly out of and set up and protect people who are inside of it, or you can just get the setup for your team. There's just a lot of benefits that I feel like this Wyvern was picked.
At least be able to get the bottle refill. As again, he is doing really well.
That's the solution.
Yeah.
Yeah. Immediately goes toward top. They also have they even have a stack starting to be prepared. I noticed for the Shadow Fiend to get enabled even more. Hanskin was able to get at least one there, and he's gonna mess with the pull and get himself to the top 2 bounty runes for his team. Bottom looks like HighCoast should be able to get it. FNG can't push the lane out hard enough.
Yeah,
so likely to be a 2 for 2.
Especially since they're messing with a hard camp stack of their own.
Yeah.
CFNG trying to get that one big centaur. That's going to be denied by Era. Goes for the kick. But still, Nico Baby's free farming. We've got S4 doing very well on the Monkey King when it comes to CS. I don't think you're really expecting an offlaner to be getting more CS than the enemy carry, but it's working here. Charlie is falling farther and farther behind, it seems. And then the mid lane matchup, TA versus SF, skill-based matchup, and he wins it.
Yeah, and he's even got the double wave. He kills the enemy catapult, and now he's going to look to pressure this tower here. Clear out the next wave and have his catapult hitting the tower. A nice aggressive move by Limp that they're not going to react to. Era starting to make the move over, but they should have maybe been there a little bit sooner. They could actually look to set up and punish him, though, with the traps up, 6 on TA, and we do have the rune is coming up, FNG.
kicks him over. Aaron's going to have to abandon the idea of picking up this power rune, which will end up going to Limp, an illusion rune in his back pocket, ready to be used, I guess, if he runs into a bad TA trap or something. Nice little dispel.
Definitely a pretty decent one. Don't break refraction charges or play it defensively. He's got a couple methods, and he's gonna farm those stacks that they do have ready in the jungle. They'll give the clockwork mid for levels, and this is all just great maximizing from Alliance, as HighCoast is getting a little bit out-farmed in these lanes at the moment and unable to really pressure on any fronts. Can't take advantage of the fact that S4 is just alone is definitely a concern.
Yeah, when they're winning in CS in all their lanes and they're getting more camps stacked, like that says to me something went wrong in the laning phase, whether it was a drafting matchup or a play. And I kind of feel like it's got to be a little bit of draft. I think this Monkey King versus Ember Spirit lane was a brilliant choice by Alliance.
Yeah, and maybe Zibek should have just backed away and just done a little bit more stacks. I see he has 2 prepared, but maybe he should have just gone for full maximizing for his team rather than just sticking up there, as it didn't seem to help too much anyway versus S4. Mid, Limp.
Getting some nice side blades in. Supreme is going to be forced back by the burn. Hanskin braving the tower in order to get this kill, and ultimately they do kill Supreme before he can get the last hit on Hanskin, so.
Worth it.
Yeah. And again,
Nico
they're
Baby is
still able to leave S4 alone at top.
Yeah, they can't actually punish him. They're going to try now with Era's rotation. They should be able to.
Gave it to Charlie.
A little close.
He needs the helping hand, I think, to be a little bit more farmed, so that's fair.
I'm liking this choice from Nico Baby. We've seen a lot of times when these Wraith Kings are playing versus either Tidehunter and Mars, they go for the quick chainmail, right? And then they go into the phase boots, and then they build up into their either Gloves of Haste or into Midas or something like that. He's just going for straight armlet. He gets the Helm of Iron Will for that armor and that regen to counteract the physical damage, and he's going to have it pretty much done already. That's going to make it really hard for them to ever set up on him. And then he can actually look to get involved in this item. It's fully beneficial across every possible thing for Wraith King. Armor, damage, farm potential. And he's into TA, so it's going to have a lot of merits.
What about the HighCoast side? Like, what do we do item-wise, movement-wise? The laning phase isn't going, like, horrifically terrible. No doubt Alliance is winning it, but it's, you know, less than 1,000 net worth lead right now. Is there anything that HighCoast can do to kind of change things up a little bit? You want to see them play more of a tri-lane against S4? Like, what is it?
Just more stacks, really. The fact that TA lost mid and now she doesn't have as many stacks as I'd like to her is a big concern. TA is all about being very far ahead. If you're behind by any fronts, your hero feels incredibly, incredibly bad. So I feel like getting the stacks set up is going to be the most important thing. And then just Era and Charlie have to just high five, and they have to make plays around each other. Chessie, he has a lot of options. I feel like he can actually go to almost any of the lanes besides bottom and look to punish if he sees an opportunity. But mostly, I think when they start getting a tower push, Chessie's job is just to be there and just, you know, plop himself in front of it and not allow them to get that push going. So I think stacks, though, are the most important thing. Cannot have Supreme fall behind at all in this game.
Well, he is top of HighCoast roster, and he is ahead of the Wraith King, though. It's Limp who's pulling farther and farther ahead thanks to all these extra neutrals he's managed to get. Now Hanskin is going to find an opening on Zibe, interrupted by Era, though. Era's done this time and time again. Seems like he's pretty much playing around the coddle a lot of the times. Nice.
Bails him out of maybe a potential bad situation. They still have these 2 stacks set up, and these 2 are actually just hand-holding themselves, the 2 supports, and looks like Zibe is going to start working on the stack himself and just clear it up a little for Supreme. But no ancient stacks at all yet this game, which is always a big worry for me when you're playing with TA.
Yeah, that is a bit concerning. A bit of downside of Era playing more around mid and especially top is that he's not there to be able to stack up so much.
Yeah, they at least have this hard camp now, triple stack too, so the Deso timing is still looking to be pretty decent. He is enabled quite well. But yeah, Limp is gonna have his item finished at the same time too to look to make moves around, and Buell's will be pretty good way for them to set up everything.
Oh,
just look to make any.
They still hit him. Arctic
move.
Burn gets disjointed by the slight.
Charlie's fine. Very tough setups for them to actually kill this Ember. Unless they have, I mean, if they have Cursed, they can. But besides that, for the early set, this Ember should be pretty safe. As long as he doesn't do any crazy remnants or just run out of mana. and some nice downtime to farm. So they're doing exactly what I was feeling I wanted them to do. And Chessie's not dying. No one's dying out of it when they're getting this time to farm and catch back up in the net worth.
Going to be going for a Yules first. Looks like Hanskin's going to die to Supreme as the two supports rotate into mid lane. They probably know the SF is clearing stacks right now, which is why they kind of make an aggressive move here. They're going to try and see if they can go for the boundary rune here. They're going to scare back Limp, roll in. Do manage to get a kick onto him, push him back into Supreme here. Now he's looking to pick up the bounty rune, but he gets cold embraced. FNG may die for that little play. FNG, the last shot comes in, but Limp is able to get off his ultimate with Requiem and Wukong's out. They TP away, and FNG didn't actually die. So nobody really dies from that whole entire rotation. Now Chess is going to come in with a haste rune and arena and runs. Haven't seen one of those plays before. Hanskin, big old whiff there on the hook shot, looking to get himself out of that sticky situation. He goes down. Era doesn't have a roll up, so looks like he's going to be dying here to S4. The TA trap slows him down, but just forces out the boundless strike. Now he's going to be empered up. Controlled by the slide, tries to dodge that big hit from the melt strike. Supreme, though, was unable to continue that play thanks to the cold embrace from FNG. Swinter Wyvern, it's as you were kind of saying, it's actually turned out to be a pretty good game for a Winter Wyvern. The versatility of his abilities against these heroes.
Yeah, for a first pick Wyvern, right? It just feels like he has actually a really good place in the game versus the TA and versus all this physical damage. As HighCoast still looking to invade. Charlie with the remnants feels safe. And with the Coddle as back, he's got good refresh of his spells. Got FNG.
Ancients, oh no! Ancients are woken up and immediately target FNG. They take the last hit instead of HighCoast.
Okay, nice aggressive move coming in forward. Chessie's ult definitely a little awkward. They do at least get a kill out of it and are able to disengage nicely. And they do buy time. Supremy's got his Deso. So pretty decent invasion, even though it's very awkward the way like one hero died out of all of it on each side.
Yeah, I'm just I think the best part about it is that Supreme is there, but it hasn't slowed down his farm at all. He's still got the Deso. He's now highest net worth.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Looking to take that mid tower before Limp can really stop anything. He's got a couple of people behind him here. The Mars is going to cut over. The Earth Spirit's ready to roll in if necessary. Just protect this aggression since the tower is almost dead. Just make sure that your mid isn't ganked while going for it.
FNG's really low level after all this. Still only level 5. He's that pretty much dream setup for their team. It's really difficult for them to ever get these good setups with Hanskin without this curse. FNG's still quite short of it here. Supreme pretty far in now, though. Can't quite go for him. They recall Charlie in.
HighCoast.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job by forcing this Wraith King into the mid lane is kind of a dream. See if they can still I think you just split up and just no longer approach that mid tower. It seems like a little bit too risky. They're the ones who brought all these heroes to mid lane. You've got the Coddle and Ember. You've got the mobility on your side. You can outfarm them here.
Yeah, definitely a good move, especially when they're starting to see the experience is being given for the most part to FNG in the mid. I think they were trying to really take advantage of the fact that he was not the 6 yet. So get a good chunk of damage on the tower, and then back up, reset, get the lanes cleared out, get Chessie very close to a Blink Dagger, which gives him a much easier way to start fights. And if he can get this Blink, he finds the Shadow Fiend. This Shadow Fiend's going to die in almost every single one of these occasions pre-BKB.
Yeah, and
so
then you've just
really big for them.
You've funneled all this net worth onto a hero that could very easily go 100-0 at the start of a fight. Win rate, which of course is a bullshit stat, but I have no doubt that the team who takes mid tower first probably has a higher win rate.
So 76 and 74% are Kyle's two numbers.
Yeah, you got to watch out for the
Those two.
70s with Kyle. He really tries to make he tries to bully people on panel with fake stats, basically.
I like this from HighCoast. So I think they need to continue these aggressive moves. You know that for the time being, Alliance is going to sit back and just try to get mostly farm. Wraith going for Radiance. BKB just absolutely needed on Shadow Fiend. So press the issue forward here. Chessie, look to make these jumps. And maybe even potentially set yourself up for a Roche if you see the opportunity. If you can get a kill on the SF, you can easily set up around that. So get these traps and get your positioning in a good spot to get aggressive. Keep the coddle near to recall people.
I like how you're talking about like the potential opening for Roshan here, because HighCoast, they're not really playing too much for being able to take that bottom safe lane tower. You know, that easy tower to take. They just entirely playing around this top half of the map, invading the triangle, and in a way gives them potential to Roshan at any time. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit different, but they have great team fights. It's as long as they get this all off before the BKB. If Lip is able to finish this KB, it's going to prove to be huge problems for them because he's always going to get his Requiem off, and it's going to just mess with absolutely everything inside the fights. And he's level 12 too, and he's getting a pretty good timing. They're actually looking to set up around bottom as HighCoast is looking to set up onto Nico Baby mid.
Yeah, they smoke down to the bottom lane. They actually do manage to get Winter's Curse into the Requiem, into the Wukong's command. My goodness. They made sure that Supreme did die there. But HighCoast has some heroes that are sneaking in from the side here. So even if they lost the TA, there's still a chance they can get a good fight here. But they have to do kind of soon. They're going to be able to find the Clockwork, kill him instantly. The spear goes out, actually hits S4. They didn't expect to find that kill. They lock him inside the arena. He's forced to fight back. He's got the Jingu stacks, trying to keep himself alive off the lifesteal, but no chance in hell. Chessie finishes him off with a God's Rebuke while Limp is forced to TP away to safety. Meanwhile, though, Nico Baby with a big push into mid lane does equalize the map pressure there. Looks like FNG. He tried to stick around even though he had a TP. I think he was hoping for a sneaky little play, but no chance here.
You can see the very liberal usage of the ultimates from Alliance there. Just how slow pace of the game is. They know they can just throw everything onto the TA. HighCoast will be able to get their own push going, but I don't think Alliance is upset about this at all. They get the Relic done now on Nico Baby, getting closer to Radiance, and this Wraith King, just like the panel was saying, just like T-Gov was saying, this guy's the king. He's the one who's going to be that real big carry for the team with the backup of that SF aura too. Really going to help him inside the fights.
Yeah, and what a huge amount of net worth he just got, being able to claim the last hit on the mid tower and the top tower while he's farming all the live long day. So I got a question. With these ultimates that they're using so liberally, are they not long enough for you to be able to punish like immediately? Was there any chance that HighCoast can just like, okay, they use ultimates, let's just go Roshan? No play like that?
If they use the ultimates on the TA, probably not, right? Because Supreme's respawn was like 40+ seconds. They actually have time to reset, get themselves in good position to set up around there. So if they use that on the TA, then it's really good. But maybe now, this is where HighCoast could look to back up. It's still a bit risky though. Clockwork Rocket, they have so many different ways to get information inside the pit on the side of Alliance. So they're gonna give that respect on HighCoast.
Right.
But it's definitely scary that it's still only that 1K lead for Alliance, but you really feel that HighCoast has to keep the tempo going with this lineup. This TA, the longer the game goes, just starts to really start to fall behind, especially into a Wraith King.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned they've been slowed down for the last 5 minutes. It feels like, you know, they're right on the cusp of being able to find these big kills, and then, you know, they get something like this. Okay, the Winter Wyvern, not too bad. This might still be okay, but you can see Alliance want to make a full fight of it. They're going to be jumping in. Hanskin goes in, immediately blasts out of his own cogs. Maybe it's for the best, though. S4, they need to focus him down now fast, and does manage to do so before the Wukongs does too much damage. Air's going to roll in, tries to go for Limp. Limp with the DD, though, just hits him down, puts him at his place. It's going to be a 1-for-2 trade-off there with HighCoast. Walking away the better of the arrangement, though. Still not the dominant team fight they're searching for, Fog.
No, not at all. Something small, they need to kick it up, and they need to get the bigger kills. S4 is kind of the sacrificial lamb, it feels like, for his SF and Wraith King in most of these situations. It's a decent hit, and they do get some good, like they have these good wards and all this good coverage, but immediately have to run back to go push out their lanes before they can really take advantage of anything here. And now it's going to be some time for them to really farm and finish up the BKB on TA for Supreme, so he feels safer because they're just going to clearly throw all the ultimates on him.
Looks like Chessie took a break off into his winter wonderland he's got in the backyard. Just
I like Chessie's backgrounds.
yeah, it's beautiful. It could be Sweden right there. It has been snowing quite. I saw you've been posting pictures of snow.
Dude, we got slammed. We got what, 60 centimeters for the non-Americans, maybe even more than that actually outside. About 2 feet of snow or something. It's crazy. And I think we're supposed to get more today for a bit, but it's looking like it's down. Looking like it dried out.
Well, the score is 4-10. It's been a pretty even game. Alliance have been slightly leading through most of it, but never much more than 1,000 net worth at a time. Same goes with experience. They were up by almost 2K at one point, but quickly dialed back down. And it feels like that the game is going to be determined in this next 2 or 3 minutes, Fogged, if HighCoast can finally find that team fight that allows them to take Roshan, and then that Roshan, that Aegis, then allows them to take further map control, and maybe they just are able to choke Alliance out. Or if that doesn't happen, it feels like Alliance is just going to straight up win off the next round of items.
Yeah, it feels like the pressure is really on. These next 5 minutes, it's going to be Limp with his BKB, so it's going to be Alliance edging out for the fights, and it's really going to be how much can HighCoast do. They have to win this next fight, or it's going to be disastrous. The game is going to start getting out of hand for them. The SF and the Wraith King are just going to start outscaling this TA, and Ember Spirit can't do this on his own. He's not into this. He's not fighting versus any Illusion Core or anything like that. He's fighting heroes that are just good versus Ember as the game does go by.
Now, we saw the win probability heavily in the favor of Alliance, 84% right now. Is it is there no option for HighCoast to go late game?
I don't see a way for them. When the fact that they have TA versus Wyvern just hard out counters the straight physical damage, right? And Ember, sure, he's playing versus limited disables, but his damage is just it's not good versus Wraith King and SF in the later stages, because he's got Maelstrom. These heroes are just going to get durable. They're going to have the backup of their team, the heals, etc. The pokes are not going to work as much. They need a full commit. The Ember is not going to be the solution.
Yeah, it seems like, some of these heroes, they might be able to go into late game all right, but the hero matchups just aren't in their favor, right? TA, very burst-oriented carry against Wraith King with 2 lives. Winter Wyvern with Cold Embrace, like you said. Yeah, it's going to be rough if they can't take control of the game pretty much right now.
Yep. And they need to make a lot happen if they are able to take advantage of this next couple seconds. They need to win this fight, get the Roche, and then just keep snowballing. Have to have perfect ult from Chessie. 20 seconds, no ult on this Mars at the moment. Limp, his BKB is coming out on the Courier. This is this crucial time around here. Supreme, still a bit shy of his BKB, so maybe a little hesitant to want to join. They always have the Coddle, though, so he can go finish it up elsewhere and then come in. It's actually Alliance forcing the issue of that Roche because of that BKB right now.
I did not think that Alliance would be the ones to make the somewhat risky maneuver here. I thought passive play was a no-brainer for me, but Alliance,
they're forcing the hand.
Yeah,
probably.
They certainly are. HighCoast may not be ready for it, especially with the hook shot coming in. The Requiem. Oh, no, he had a moment, but he couldn't get away in time. The fear catches him before he could jump away. Now, Era is very likely to die here. The Essence Ring won't save him as S4 jumps to the other side of things, and Limp with the rest of his BKB and the help of Nico, baby. They're going to look to finish up this Roshan, claim the Aegis before HighCoast has a chance to do anything.
Oh, that is disastrous. The TA draft does not get the Roche set up at all. They can't even take the fight because the way it starts, Charlie has to be more careful. Even though, as you say, he's elusive, there is different ways to combo him with that Yules.
That
can't make these type of mistakes. As Supreme, he probably wanted to finish the BKB, but it's just a really smart move from Alliance to force the issue.
And take it out, I mean, Roshan is so important for TA lineups in general. As we can see, Supreme, he does excellent damage, particularly when he has a DD, but he's still very fragile. He needs that extra life to work with.
Especially when he's playing versus a lot of different ways to kite him out. With the Cold Embrace, the Clockwork can mess with you, even if you do have BKB. Just even Reincarnate can slow you down if you post BKB. Has to be very careful for Supreme. He's going to have to really put the work in for his team, as the rest of them are just really falling behind. Charlie, he's below the off lane. He's below the Monkey King. They're the best 4.
I just cannot get over that Witch's Blade is a viable item for non-intelligence heroes.
Me too. It's so weird to see this on these Monkey Kings every game.
Yeah. Monkey Kings, seen it on a few Ember Spirits. Close
Very
call.
likely for him to die if they do get the setup. I actually like it even more when you have setup though, right? When you have Winter's Curse, you can get them in the Yeah, I love this third item blink that I'm seeing on these Wraith Kings a lot of the time. You get kited, but this is always going to change that. And you just, if you get on the supports and the back lines, you will probably 1 or 2 shot them if you get a hit with the Mortal Strike. Era, very far forward.
Oh, he does manage to roll away. He's going to make break for it. He's good, I think.
Oh? Yeah, he's good. That looked weird. It looked like he was actually inside of him. The roll was like perfect. As Jibe won't be so lucky. There's that 1 hit.
Yeah, a guaranteed crit from a strength carry is pretty good. Who knew?
But Cap, it was reduced 10% in 7.28A.
Yeah.
So they're still getting a good amount of gold on the map, but you can just feel like is it all going to actually come down to something? I'm really hoping to see what they're going to be able to make of it with these double BKBs. The Mars also has his finished. Charlie going for a Lincoln's. He's still a bit weak in that front. But with this timing, they're actually going to look for something here.
Oof. Coordination not on point. Double smokes for this play, but maybe double the smokes, double the kills.
Maybe. Wraith King quite far away from his team at the moment. They're getting a good wrap around, and to see the couriers also flying in, so they know exactly where they're going to be.
Follow that courier, boys.
Where is he? There goes Hanskin. Get him.
Okay, there's the clockwork. They don't want to initiate on him. They really want to be able to catch up. Maybe the SF. They actually do jump the clockwork with the TA. The back line, they do manage to kill FNG. He goes down. S4 trapped inside the arena. They're going to play around that, but Limp does manage to get his Yule's combo onto Arrow, who's most certainly dead, unless Essence Ring. No, the last hit comes in. The BKB from Chessie fighting through. Hanskin is going to go down. The BKBs, though, trapped inside these cogs. Mars managed to blink away. Supreme fighting through this, but remember, he doesn't have that as the Aegis. He is so squishy right now. He needs to be able to stay away from Limp. Look at him. They don't have detection. They're throwing down races. Finally, they drop the sentry and they see him. They finally manage to kill the TA. It's up to the Ember Spirit to lay out this damage now, but Nico, baby, he's about to lose his first life, but it's the SF who's going to go down first. FNG gets rolled over by Zibe. Let's see if they can catch these 2 cores on their second life. Limp, he doesn't have a BKB, so he's pretty easily controlled up. He does do a good job of bringing down Mars for the end of it. Charlie, ooh, last bit of mana there with the sleight of fist to make sure Nico, baby, didn't hit him with a stun. They are desperate to slow this man down, catch him. Don't let his blink dagger come up. They managed to get the vessel, but he blinked into the trees.
Okay.
He's good.
He turns Radiance off too, just in case. Wow, that was actually a better fight than I thought High Coast was going to be able to put up. They did have to use some buybacks, but what an initial jump. They actually found FNG instantly. Even though Alliance was prepared on the right side, they got on him right away. That was a crazy fight.
Yeah, that was
the cogs actually were really impactful though. Hanskin trapping them both during the majority of their BKB in there, so they had to just play very defensive while they were resetting away. And Nico, baby, still probably the biggest winner of it all, but a decent fight from High Coast into an Aegis.
Yeah, not too bad at all. If they could just take another team fight, this one going perhaps a little bit better for the TA since she's not going to have buybacks, so that was obviously a big factor. But honestly, just taking away that Aegis, if they can force another engagement, win that one, we still have a small chance of High Coast kind of taking over that mid game like they need to do.
Yep. I think this Nico, baby, actually made the executive choice because he got so much farm and he lived throughout the entirety of the last fight. He actually is going for the AC. I saw that Limp had it queued up, but he gets killed. He doesn't have the great gold. He's just kind of a casual plate mill for the time being. Not too bad anyway versus the TA. And then he'll go for Butterfly. And they're going to have this AC pretty much done soon. That's going to counteract a lot of that damage we did see coming in from Supreme in that last fight. And he has to be just much more careful, as you said. No buyback going to be available for the next time.
Wraith King's out here pretty far. They kind of ping him, but no disables are around to stop him from TPing away.
So very close game, 11-16.
Yeah. Catching FNG? No. Missed the chains. Chessie not able to follow up without that disable.
So scary to be Supreme right now. He has to just be very careful. His team has to play and just pretty much smoke to him every time he shows in a lane, because they're very likely that they set up on him on the side of Alliance, and they will. Nico Baby's going to run in with his new AC.
Running into the Wraith King, that is not what High Coast wants, so they're going to retreat after losing Era. See if Zibe is able to get back in time before the next blink of the Wraith King. He's good. Or maybe he's not. Nice glimmer. He gets that off in time. Zibe is going to have to find some sort of corner to hide in. TP out, but Hanskin ready to go with the hook shot. And the vision on the high ground to spot him.
Feeling their power spike as soon as that AC is picked up. Just fearlessly charging in to start getting an advantage, even though they don't have Aegis. Feeling that power, because the TA, no buyback. He just has to be so careful. Now 30 seconds, no Earth Spirit. Good window for Alliance to really press this advantage forward. Get themselves a tier 2, maybe claim an outpost. Finish up with his next set of items, in particular Limp's Butterfly, probably the big one. And S4's BKB. So fights will get easier for Alliance, and still looking pretty hard for High Coast.
Yeah, it's funny watching this S4 Monkey King. All I can think about the fact is that he's able to spend more time in trees because he's not supposed to be kind of a carry, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have to take that risk that, like, 1 and 2 position Monkey Kings have to do, because, like, if you spend too much time in trees, you're just wasting away. You're not actually getting a whole lot of farm. But S4, he's been spending, like, half the game just chilling out, watching people, waiting for his opportunity to strike.
And he's still very farmed, honestly. Like, he's not the same as the Mars, because he has been playing on the trees a lot, but he's been a distraction. He's been the one that they've actually focused a lot of the attention on, too, because he's just in the midst of it all. And the Wukong is always a problem. Hanskin, they'll find Era.
Era's dead. Zibe, maybe the same thing here. Glimmer, Cape trying to get away. The dust is going to slow him down, though. Double raises spell the doom for him. Chessie doesn't get off his BKB in time. He gets hit by the stun. Limp is going to go for the Requiem, but at the same time, the curse came out on the TA. That's going to be a lot of abilities wasted. Supreme, he wastes no time to try and take advantage of this. They do have the Cold Embrace plus Wukong's command combo that is going to force Supreme away, though. He's not able to take advantage of that. Bit of a misplay, bit of a miscommunication from Alliance.
Oops. They'll be able to reset away from it. A little bit of weird stuff going on there. Clearly different understanding of the fight from the SF and the Wyvern of how to want to get out of that situation. I think FNG making a good executive choice. Guys, we're on the high ground. We don't need to be here.
Yeah.
Get the hell out.
That's a fair call.
And now High Coast, they don't have Mars ult for about 25 seconds. Chessie's still not having it available, but they do have a little bit of a power for Supreme.
Yeah, if all things like even, if you blow ultimates on both sides, you're probably more willing to take the fight if you're High Coast, right?
Yeah, Nico Baby is the one all the way in the front, though, so this is a tough target for them to chase onto.
Oh, and nice Charlie. Double stun there from the Balance Strike. He's going to try and jump in. They do manage to bring down Charlie. Now they're going to follow up on Era, who tried to roll onto the back line to catch FNG. Instead, he's the one who stumbles into Alliance's trap. 2 down with a 5,000 net worth lead. Alliance they just seem to be countering a lot of High Coast moves. You know, they're just reading. They're going to have to go for a fight here. Every single time, Nico Baby's the one to intercept the movement.
And such good reads of how to just control Charlie. This is now the second time that I've seen Hanskin it's perfect. They get the initial stun, he gets the hook shot, walks in front, gets the beauty cog pushback. You know, their lineup is lacking a little bit of those real stuns, quote unquote, but when he does it like this, they're always able to catch this Ember who's gonna Linken's.
Yeah.
Linken's isn't gonna help you versus a boundless strike or a clock hook shot in the pushback. Now Aegis Cheese as well, full butterfly on Limp from that last situation too. And just looking to get harder for High Coast. Supreme has Daedalus, but a lot more things that he's gonna have to deal with now.
Yeah, if Dota Plus thought that this game was heavily favoring Alliance when the game was even on net worth and experience, now that they're up by 7K, it's They're pretty much saying there is just one more nail left to put into that coffin.
Charlie showing himself in the front again.
He's got to be careful of that. He's got the Lincolns, and they tried the double stun there. But fortunately, Charlie was quick enough before the Winter's Curse came out.
They have a great ward deep in the base. S4, he's setting up here.
S4 does manage to get off the Wukong's command to be able to cover as Nico Baby that was not trapped at all. Managed to kill Supreme as a result of that. The Winter's Curse goes out last second. FNG was just hoping to survive, but either way, his team has certainly won this engagement. Chessie puts himself in a corner, trying to use his shield as best he can, but ultimately without the TA, Fog, they don't have any damage.
No, they do not. And a beautiful setup from S4. They actually catch Era trying to do some creep catching shenanigans in the back here, and they're going to use buybacks to try to hold the racks. Okay. Looks like a pretty hard hold. There's still Aegis, as well as the cheese.
Yeah, he pops the cheese just in case. 10 more seconds till his reincarnation is back up. They're going to go for Hanskin here. Hanskin protecting himself with the Cogs. Nico Baby is ready to go back in. His reincarnation is just about there. Actually, the block's done there as Nico Baby, thanks to S4, gets hit by the Earth Spirit. So Nico Baby just...
But they're like, oh god, wait a minute. Our damage source is already dead, and nothing they can do as Alliance can finally look to close this one up after it felt like they've taken control of this game as soon as they got that first Roche.
Yeah, they may not be able to get Megas, but the Ancient is still a win condition, and it is going to be enough to force HighCoast to GG out. So, game one, HighCoast, they managed to, kind of keep it even, but it did feel inevitable. In a way, Fogged, that Alliance, due to draft perhaps, due to a little bit of just reading everything HighCoast was doing, they were just getting more and more control as the game went on.
Yeah, I really liked, honestly, Hanskin with a couple of these hook shots were really clutch to get to these catches. HighCoast, I did like how they were, especially that bottom fight, the way they took the fight was very impressive to me on that even footing, if not maybe slightly behind footing versus Alliance, but Alliance, I think their understanding of the draft and the understanding of the game was just a little bit better of how they set themselves up for success, right? Just limp. They put this Ember into a really tough scenario where he can't get a good lane, really, and then they just shut down Charlie the whole game. It's really just Supreme versus the world, it felt like in most of these situations. He can't do everything.
Yeah, and Alliance did a whole lot to be able to shut down Supreme in these team fights. As a result, they're going to be able to take this first game. HighCoast, they did what they could, try to make the game even, but ultimately Alliance was just one step ahead, huh, Sheeper?
They really were one step ahead, and now also one game ahead in this best of three. We're going to break down that game after this quick break.
With the right CPU,
behind, and I've lost everything. Forever living in the dark. is your choice to make a little mockery, it won't do. Further down the line, still surrendering, trying harder to forgive you. Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door has closed, not a sound. Take a look as I am now. Still I smile and don't speak. Will you please slow down? Slow down, slow down, slow down.
Seeing monsters at your window. No, you can't sleep, you pretend though. You don't have to play the hero. Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until our last breath, every heartbeat. You know I'll come running. You go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you sound the alarm, when the chaos is rising, leading the charge, yeah, I'm coming, I'm fighting. Swear on the breath that I breathe, I'll never retreat, yeah, I'll be your army. When your nightmares turn to real life and the ground's filled up with landmines, we will face it, standing side by side. You know I'll come running when you need. I'm coming. You know I'll come running. You go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you sound the alarm, when the chaos is rising, leading the charge, yeah, I'm coming, I'm fighting. Swear on the breath that I breathe, I'll never retreat, yeah, I'll be your army. You go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you sound the alarms and the chaos is rising, leading the charge, I'm coming, I'm fighting. Swear on the breath that I breathe, I'll never retreat, yeah, I'll wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same. All you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm sad to say I'm sorry, so lie. Pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. And so I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. Life kept spitting at my feet and forced me down a dead-end street, when all I had went up in flames, burning only dark remains. I cover up every part of my skin, oh, 'cause I don't like the person within. Oh, I know I'm the one to blame. All I can do is take the shame. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm too sad to say I'm sorry, so lie and pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. Whoa, I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. So I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. I don't wanna live a I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. Oh no.
left behind, and I've lost everything. Forever living in the dark. I feel so alive. Still remembering what I want, but it ends with you. Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door has closed, not a sound. Take a look as I am now. Still I smile but don't speak. Will you please slow down? Slow down. Unreal intertwined, and you're not listening. It is your choice to make a little mockery, it won't do. Further down the line, still surrendering, trying harder to forgive you. Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door has closed, not a sound. Take a look as I am now. Still I smile but don't speak. Will you please slow down? Slow down. Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door is closed, not a sound. Take a look as I am now. Still a smile but don't speak. Will you please slow down? Slow down. Slow down. Slow down.
Seeing monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep, you pretend though. You don't have to play the hero. 'Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream. Until our last breath, every heartbeat. sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you sound the alarms and the chaos is rising, leading the charge, I'm coming, I'm fighting. Swear on the breath that I breathe, I'll never retreat, yeah, I'll be your army.
Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, 'cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same, all you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm sad to say I'm sorry, so lie, pretend that you're okay, swear that you will stay, keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies, don't care if I capsize, there's nothing left for me to hide, don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs, too many things to criticize, and so I leave it all behind, don't wanna live a lie. Life kept spitting at my feet and forced me down a dead-end street, when all I had went up in flames, burning only dark remains. I cover up every part of my skin, oh, 'cause I don't like the person within, oh, I know I'm the one to blame, all I can do is take the shame. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm too sad to say I'm sorry, so lie and pretend that you're okay, swear that you will stay, keep trying for one day. Whoa, I'm sick of all these lies, don't care if I capsize, there's nothing left for me to hide, don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs, too many things to criticize, so I leave it all behind, don't wanna live a lie. I don't wanna live a lie. I'm sick of all these lies, don't care if I capsize, oh no. left behind, and I've lost everything. Forever living in the dark. I feel so alive. Still remembering what I want, but it ends with you. Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door has closed, not a sound. Take a look as I am now. Still I smile but don't speak. Will you please slow down? Slow down. Unreal intertwined, and you're not listening. It is your choice to make a little mockery, it won't do. Further down the line, still surrendering, trying harder to forgive you. Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door has closed, not a sound. Take a look as I am now. Still I smile but don't speak. Will you please slow down? Candlelight has gone out. Some will win and some will lose. Nothing much else to say. Thought I was searching for something. Door is closed, not a sound. Take a look as I am now. Still a smile but don't speak. Will you please slow down? Slow down. Slow down. Slow down.
Seeing monsters out your window. No, you can't sleep. You pretend though you don't have to play the hero. 'Cause I got you like you got me. When the earth shakes, when the bombs scream, until our last breath, every heartbeat. You know I'll come running. You go to war, then I'm going with you. Pick up my sword, yeah, there's nothing I won't do. When you found me when you sound the alarms and the chaos is rising, leading the charge, I'm coming, I'm fighting. Swear on the breath that I breathe, I'll never retreat, I'll be your army.
Took a swing at a wrecking ball and I prayed for my downfall, and I found a way to reconcile, cause in my heart it's not worthwhile. It's a bloody battlefield where some go down, others heal. In the end it's all the same, all you can do is play the game. Oh, do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm sad to say I'm sorry, so lie. Pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. And so I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. Life kept spitting at my feet and forced me down a dead-end street when all I had went up in flames, burning only dark remains. I cover up every part of my skin, oh, cause I don't like the person within, oh. I know I'm the one to blame. All I can do is take the shame, oh. Do we say goodbye? Refuse to question why. I'm too sad to say I'm sorry, so lie and pretend that you're okay. Swear that you will stay. Keep trying for one day. Whoa, I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. There's nothing left for me to hide. Don't wanna live a lie. Too many lows, too many highs. Too many things to criticize. So I leave it all behind. Don't wanna live a lie. I'm sick of all these lies. Don't care if I capsize. Oh no.
Poignant in these moments and also puck very elusive. So yeah, I thoroughly rate the Alliance lineup.
Okay, well,
I guess we're in.
we're in. We're just gonna send it straight over to our commentary team because it's time for some Dota 2 Cap and Fogged. Please take it away.
What, you guys don't want to play more Guess the Animal? I'm a little disappointed. Well, Fogg,
enjoying it.
what did you think about the draft that you probably just now got to see? Or maybe you heard it earlier.
Let me take a glance at it.
All right,
Really
fair
quickly.
enough,
I haven't even got a chance to think because just hearing heroes that they're saying, you know, I have decent memory, but I don't even know which team had what at the moment. So let's take a look.
All right, we got for Alliance, we've got an off-lane S4 Viper that's going to be paired up with, I think, going to be FNG on the Nyx Assassin. They've got Hanskin with the IO on Nico Baby with the Troll. Limp is going to be playing his Puck. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've got HighCoast. Charlie's going to be playing the Juggernaut Supreme with the mid-Monkey King Chessie with his specialist off-lane Beastmaster. Kyle was talking about him being a micro hero. Era is going to be on the Rubik and Zibe on the Crystal Maiden.
Okay, all right. I feel like Alliance got a lot of their comfort heroes. Theirs looks pretty strong. Off-lane Viper is a little bit weird, but you can see what they were going for. I didn't see obviously I don't know what the order of the draft was, but I'm assuming this came after the Monkey King, so then they have to shift and put a different hero top, and they pick the Jug so that he can actually lane and get kill threat. I'm assuming. I didn't know. I have no idea what the draft order was, but I think that's why we're seeing this Monkey King being put in the mid lane versus a pretty tough matchup still versus the Puck. So it still doesn't look great for Supreme. They can definitely get a lot of kills onto S4 top on this Viper since he is this very slow hero. So I want to see them get themselves a good head start up there in particular. Just get themselves a nice 1 or 2 kills onto that Viper early on with either a CM or Rubik or even 3 heroes potentially.
Well, they were trying to use the board to scout out if there was a ward, which is kind of classic. But the thing is, the ward's on the other side of the river, so they weren't able to detect the fact that because normally if it's on this side of the river, right, you plant the boar right next to the within tower range, right behind the trees. Yeah, and that's an easy cheat way to know and get a free sentry out.
I like that. Nice dodge there by Supreme. First orb. He is able to dodge out the damage from it. The harassment game is going to be there, so Supreme has to be very good about dodging these orbs as much as possible because he will get pressured in that lane. Bottom, we're going to see Troll, probably one of the best carry heroes versus Beastmaster. You're just able to always clear out these boars easily, the slows, high armor, miss rate, etc. versus the summons later on. Just a good matchup for him. And the IO, extra sustain. Probably not going to see much happen to Alliance's side. Alliance should have a pretty good showing in this lane down bottom.
Yeah, and then S4's Viper with the Nyx Assassin beside him, they've kind of got a kill combo, Crystal Maiden Juggernaut, but against a ranged offlaner who's kind of tankier than most, I'm not sure if they're actually going to be able to do anything against this Viper. It feels like, to me, Alliance could win 3 lanes here, most likely mid and bottom, and potentially a top lane as well.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be about how they actually maximize and equalize like the lane because, you know, the pulls are going to start happening. So S4, he's going to get quite a bit up here in Jibe. I want to see what he does to actually maximize for himself as the CM because they're not giving him the opportunities to get any pulls. S4 is actually messing with it, constantly trying to get his own side pulls. So yeah, they're going to have to really look to get some kills in this top lane onto the Viper to slow him down. Because the passive lane looks painful. FNG just actually skills the mana burn too. So it just burns the CM once or twice. And that Crystal Nova is very expensive. That's why we see all those CMs start with like triple mangoes, just like the Liches do.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to get level 2 Arcane Aura simply for the fact that he won't have the mana to support both Crystal Nova and Frostbite.
He honestly just might have to, even though we've seen so much of the Frostbite level 2 for the kills. As FNG will stun Charlie. Doesn't get the last hit on the creep, but Charlie won't be able to secure it. And they get good lane positioning. So yeah, these lanes for Alliance looking really solid. Chessie's actually doing better than I thought he would. Already down bottom.
Yeah, they just keep on pulling the waves back. And Hanskin can only do so much against to harass a Beastmaster when he's got his boars out. And if the lane's going all right in the first round where you've got level 1 boars, it's a good sign for the future, right, Fog?
Yeah, they're never going to be able to pressure the Troll Warlord, though, is the issue. He'll just be able to get his down here to deny
he popped the mango, but he was 7 mana short to get off the Crystal Nova, and the Courier's going to die. FNG's going to pick that up. So, win-win there for Alliance. They get the kill. S4 gets out, nice and easy. They get a Courier kill.
Look at this. They're even body blocking Charlie, so he misses some of the wave CS, too.
Oh,
might actually get FNG killed, but it was cute.
Cute idea, but ultimately not worth.
I love that. You get so in your head, you're like, wait, he could just spin me down. Oh God, this is not a good play. Oh well, it happens. S4 did TP to the tower instead of to the base, so he's actually still able to stay up here and get XP.
All right.
And he's just been burning through tangos to get himself back up to that nice and healthy range. Supreme 15-4 compared to 18-4 on Limp's Puck. Does manage to get the Jingu stack there. But very important as he was running out of regen in this lane. Same goes with the power runes that's coming in. That's why Era's already here.
Era.
Hanskin, he joins in. He followed the Rubik down here. Supreme's going to come over. Can they get it? Telekinesis tossing him closer to the Monkey King. He does manage to grab a regen rune there for Supreme. A big pickup as preventing the Puck from refilling that bottle. That could have been kind of disastrous for the mid lane.
I might actually win him the lane. Actually denying that rune and getting it for himself just even for that hot second. Yeah, Puck has to go back to base. He's able to sustain here. All right, that was a big rotation from Era helping out. Almost his cost with his life, but a really heads-up move, which kind of salvages their laning phase here, as it was looking a little rough. Now they've evened out across all three. And we'll get to see where Era looks to go as we see the Puck TP back to mid. Yeah, Supreme's gonna have a good advantage in experience now.
It's kind of unfair. Puck is a mid hero right now. Way he scales and everything else, but then just, you know, even if somehow, for some reason, something goes wrong and you have to be sent back to base, well, you're going to be one of the faster heroes to do it if you've got the mana for Illusory Orb, so Limp really wasn't gone that long.
Yeah, Puck just is such an absurd hero with all the buffs and changes. Really does feel like it. Limp, though.
Oh, going for it.
Hit Supreme. Gets the Jinko.
He's going to pop the salve just in case because he knows the Limp's got his next round of spells coming up, so he doesn't want to risk it. Courier again. FNG throws out the stun. He's going to die for that play, though.
Went for the healing ward. Almost got it as well, but we'll pay with his life. He's securing the lane for S4, though. It's like one of the deaths may be unnecessary, but S4 doing really well top. 27-6 compared to 22 of the Jug. They're making Charlie move around for these kills, so it's making him miss last hits, but he's getting kills to make up for it. And now they do actually get a side pull off as well to reset the positioning of the lane. So S4 has to be very careful how he does step up here.
He does have that Nether Tox, but you could see Charlie wants to make sure that S4 is pressured here and doesn't get a lot of those last hits on the big camp. The Mana Bird goes out. Charlie does get a Mango, though, to be able to pop the spin here. Challenges FNG a little bit, but he knows it's not going to be enough to get the kill. So it's Zibe who's going to pay the price of Charlie's aggression here. He's going to fall. S4 continues to be in control of this lane.
And they're actually able to pressure. That's the important thing that we're seeing is S4's farming, sure, farming, but Chessie is dying. Unable to actually slow down the farm of the troll at all. While look at Charlie, he is significantly slowed down in comparison. This offlane Viper is working really well for them right now. 2k gold advantage already off of all this. And now Limp is able to actually force the Monkey King back to reset away.
Going in again in this bottom lane, trying to catch Era as well. You can see Charles kind of a crazy hero. Top lane, he's very low on health. They may just turn and right-click him down. He has to back away the last couple of spin. S4 does hit him once, but not enough to keep pursuing. Poison attack being level 3. Got to be careful, though, especially with Supreme being forced back. Means he can actually rotate over S4. I think he knows he's dead here. There's no escape out of this. Supreme will take the kill.
Nice move. Will cause the pressure to happen onto the mid tower because of it, but they need to help this top lane. The Jug's getting slowed down too much. I like that from Supreme. Yeah. And all 3 lanes, Alliance, yes, free farming, and now it's Nico Baby with an absolutely uncontested lane. As even before it was pretty much uncontested, he actually was getting extra farm because of the Beastmaster boards. He'll get a free Maelstrom farm down here, and very little ways to pressure this troll with the way that they've set themselves up in the draft.
Yeah, Troll just feels good as a laner with his basic skill set. But then on top of that, the fact that you've got a few different items you can go to win against certain matchups. So the phase boots against this Beastmaster makes the lane really easily. We've seen with Miracle up against the Timbersaw, the early Javelin approach was a pretty cool idea.
And he's into a draft that it's weird because it's a lot of physical damage with Beastmaster, Monkey King, Jug. The magic damage is going to be a bit lackluster to actually take out this troll, which is what Troll really hates to play against for the most part here. And he is, in a way, a one-to-one counter versus that Juggernaut. You know, Omni Slash goes out, Battle Trance counteracts it in a lot of situations. So the game is going to be quite hard for High Coast with these lanes going not in their favor.
Yeah. 3-3, but they're up by 3,000 net worth already on Alliance. High Coast, once again, it feels like they're the ones who have to do something to change the state of the game, especially as Charlie may go down here. He did have enough stick charges to be able to get enough mana back to spin and stay alive, but still, he cannot be happy with the way his lane's going.
No, and I'm surprised how much work the level 1 mana burn is really doing up top.
Yeah.
Versus Jug, he's very limited on his pool, so even 1 or 2 mana burns just breaks his lane. Same thing for the CM. And even in the midst of all this too, while they have been dominating the lanes, they have stacks. I'm seeing a triple stack in the jungle that the IO was preparing from earlier, so Nico Baby's enabled. While on the other side, opposing side, they do have a 1 double stack, but not the same. The Jug takes a little bit more time to clear those out.
Going for that fast Maelstrom build after the phase boots. They've taken that off lane tower while the laning phase is still kind of breaking down here. Supreme's going to come top lane again. Nice dodge there with the spin to make sure he doesn't get hit by the impale. They are all in on killing S4 right now, but here comes Limp. Hits him with the silence right as the Monkey King jumped in. Supreme, he's going to get off the boundless strike and will manage to kill S4, but as you said, he's broken inside of that, so he doesn't get any Jingu stacks, meaning he is very easy for Limp to be able to kill. He gets a double off of that, and hell, just the cherry on top. We go back to bottom lane, an empty lane where they kill Boar as well.
Nice little farm. And a good ward here. This is one actually I don't see too often. Placed right by the outpost up in this dire jungle. I think FNG placed that one out earlier. Watch the Monkey King rotation, the TP coming in. Limp had already started the TP when that TP was happening. So Limp got there so quickly to be able to react perfectly. And we're seeing the Nether Toxin, why they picked this Viper. 3 different abilities that he can break in this game quite easily. Jug crit, Monkey King passive, Beastmaster passive. It's gonna pay dividends for sure.
You know, I've never thought about this, but it probably breaks Arcane Supremacy from Rubik as well, right? Not that that's actually, you know, a useful application, but...
If he ever finds himself walking for some reason that close to the Viper as Rubik with 1 billion cast range.
Yeah. Look at that. They not only won the lanes, but they have more camps stacked. I feel a bit of deja vu for game 1, Fogged.
Absolutely. Look at Nico, baby. Just well and truly enabled. Jug was pressured significantly in the lane. Troll not pressured at all. All lanes just looking phenomenal for them, and they're even now applying pressure with this second catapult wave like last time. So, seeing HighCoast do the same thing, but it's such a big gold deficit already. 5K. Insane how fast that's gone.
Yeah, that is a big difference from game 1 and game 2. Is HighCoast felt like they managed to keep the net worth even if it wasn't really to their advantage at all here. It's going so starkly against them. I guess this time around they do have a lineup that scales pretty well into the late game compared to Alliances, where they've got pretty much a it's kind of like a single carry troll lineup, right?
Yeah. But they do have like anti-count, like the counters, right? The S4, the break is going to be massive versus all of them. And Troll has just such a good matchup versus
Omni Slash.
that he's playing against. The Omni Slash.
It bounces away from Hanskin. Instead, it goes on to FNG. He used the Vendetta to be able to get away, and now we just popped a bunch of ultimates to not get any kills. Chessie comes in through the side. Nico, baby, got to be careful that melee Necronomicon unit. The Boars are slowing him down. S4, is he going to die? Telekinesis, pull back into the Boars. The Boars die. Era manages to get the kill here, but he will die in turn, looks like, from the Nether Toxin, or maybe not. He actually barely survives FNG. They found him. I'm not sure if he came out with the Vendetta hit. Ultimately, HighCoast do manage to do 2 kills and don't lose anybody, surprisingly.
They do lose the tower, which is inevitably what Alliance was there for. They had to use every single one of their ults to defend, but any type of trades right now, I think they're fine with taking. They need to get these trades to have some hope of catching back up, and because Era survives, he stole Nether Toxin toward the end of that fight. They'll have Nether Toxin for the next few setups. That could actually be pretty impactful. Gonna make that Viper a lot squishier.
Good way to be able to kite the troll or limit the effectiveness of the IO.
Yep.
We'll see what they do with it. Kind of
feels
feels like...
too, so they gotta back up. I think they just can't. They gotta just catch up. Chessie still only has the book 1. He's still pretty underfarmed for most of the Beastmasters we see. We actually usually see the book 3 out by now.
Yeah.
That's usually pretty... That's definitely a big indicator. All 3 towers are already taken as well. Team with Beastmaster is actually only taken the 1.
Oh, they're going to go for it here. They have the relocate, so they just go ahead. Throw down the catch here, the Dream Coil. I always love it when teams make a concerted effort to shut down a Beastmaster, because this hero, I think, is pretty crazy right now. When he gets the Necro 3, he just feels impossible to fight into, so just stop his progression. Don't let him get to that point.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I just love when I see relocate gants actually done I feel like we see so often it's just to relocate as it's a defensive posture, but with Coil, they can always set up. With Vendetta and with Coil, they have easy ways to set up any of the split push that is going to be inevitably coming from High Coast as they are so far behind right now.
It also means Nico Baby, he was left there, so he's going to kind of sweep through the jungle, his own jungle in this 13 to 14 minute mark where there was a bunch of camps available. So very efficient move for Alliance. Top of everything else. FNG underneath the Sentry here. But we don't have any... I mean, I guess Era is there with the telekinesis, but maybe it's just not enough.
They're just trying to get some type of catch up, it looks like here, playing pretty defensively. I'm really trying to finish up these books. Like Chessie, as we said, the book 1 was done, but he still doesn't have book 2 because of that death before. Now he'll have it, so they're a little bit stronger about it, but it really feels like he is the dictator of their power windows with these books, because besides that, their fight just looks pretty weak still at the moment. Especially into Alliance's heavy sustain, like very tanky lineup.
Yeah. What do you think about S4's build up here? He's going to Crimson Guard against the Monkey King Beastmaster.
I love it. I think all he needs to do is just tank up. Doesn't matter if he's broken. He'll be able to tank first those minions. They find an easy snag onto Jibe, but I think this is a really good approach by him. He switched to the Atos right afterwards. He already still had the crown. But either way, it's just any type of tanky items. I actually think I may have liked the Crimson a little bit more, but maybe he feels like they can just set up for more kills if he has an Atos. Then they have 3 ways to set up ganks with Io. Nyx, an Atos, and a Coil.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of interesting. It's not a typical Viper item that we see, but it is a great game for Crimson Guard versus Beastmaster, Monkey King. Hell, even in some ways, the Omni Slash of the Juggernaut. Supreme. He is going to show up here, tries to get off the Wukong's command. Okay, that's going to give him some armor, a little bit more tankiness, but ultimately the magic damage that's raining in for the Maelstrom should be enough. The puck spots him, hits him with the Witch's Blade, and that's going to take him out. However, tossed back in, never mind. He gets bounced out. The Crystal Maiden Freezing Field no longer there. Where the cores, they're not here at all. It was only the 2 supports to back up Supreme, so Alliance are able to just keep on hitting High Coast, knocking them down. 2 heroes fall, and they can continue.
They're just going to go for more.
This push is, yeah, they've got another Dream Coil pretty much being used off cooldown every single time. They can get a tier 2 tower with this Siege Wagon potentially.
They're just starting to get really outplayed around the map. They're not able to actually have any real pressure. Chessie's just jungling with the book. And I feel like he's the one who actually has to be the one to pretty much make anything happen in the game. He's got book 3 done, so I think now he really has to do something. Otherwise, Alliance is just going to run away with this as they already are. Alliance might just actually set up for a Roche pretty soon. So Chessie, with this book 3, he's going to have to make leaps and bounds of space somehow for his cores.
Okay, so how do we set that up? We hit our power timing. Okay, we got Necro 3. We're really strong on this hero. What kind of move are we looking for?
Oh, God. He has to be there to counteract. He has to be there to counter gank, or even just get the initial setup with the Hawk and Vision. But the thing is now that they're actually so rich that the book 3 is a lot weaker. When you get book 3 at 11, it has that huge spike, but now it's quite a bit weaker as FNG is going to walk right into it, and Limp is here.
Okay, so that'll be a pick off in the Nyx Assassin. They're actually going to relocate into this one. They want to be able to fight. The Omni Slash immediately going down. Hanskin, he's going to get popped real quickly. So too does the Crystal Main, but Charlie's going to try and chase away the puck. Limp, has to jump away to his orb, so it's a decent fight. They get 2 supports for their 1. Can they catch a little bit more? Supreme immediately going to bound forward, catching S4. Dream Coil managed to grab a bunch of heroes here. S4 dealing with all those Necronomicon units will end up going down. The Monkey King ticking a little bit, but ultimately he does survive. Next up is Nico Baby, trying to use that phase boots, that burst of movement speed to get out of here. High Coast won't be able to pursue, still being peppered away at by Limp as he continues to harass High Coast back. Not a bad team fight for them.
The Dream, right? They're limited a little bit by their actual way of starting a fight, which Jesse with just book. Like he doesn't have blink, they don't have any other heroes like a Clockwork to start in. But if they just walk up into you, you get the Dream set up for the Roar, you get your book summons and everything too. So that was kind of handed to them a little bit there, but it was perfect for them being set up around the area.
Yeah, at first I thought it was like, oh, this is perfect for Alliance. The big move, the big timing of High Coast, and they run into a Nyx Assassin. Like, okay, that's your smoke breaker, even though it wasn't a smoke. Like, no problem, just reset. But then they made the call. We're actually going to fight this, and the relocate in was kind of disastrous for Hanskin.
Yeah, they couldn't even hit the healing ward either. It's full duration. You see it there in the midst of the whole entire fray of the battle. So even though the Viper Sting and all that comes out, yeah, they can't commit. That's probably the worst place that Alliance could pick a fight there onto that high ground. some breathing room for HighCoast to get and finish up these next few items. They're still very far from any type of real defensive. They just have Maelstroms on both of them. So still just probably have to just play around Chessie's book whenever he does have that summoned. And Era does at least have Carapace stolen, so he can make some cool plays versus the Puck. In particular, versus the Viper too, he can definitely set them up and get them out of position. The bottom.
Uh-oh. Can he stay alive? Jingu, oh, this is looking all right for Supreme. He's not going to survive through the relocate, surely, but still, managing 2 on a 1 versus 4, get 2 kills. That's not too bad. Era, he's got Spike Carapace. He may be able to make a sick play here. Limp's going to go all in for the kill, see if he can get it off. No, he's silenced for too long.
Hotskin, they're surrounding him top. They saw where the reload was from, but he can actually get away.
And now they're on the hunt. Nico, Baby, and Limp, they feel very strong, and Crystal Maiden is going to be left behind. Zibe goes down.
That was pretty okay. I mean, sure they lost these 2 heroes, but Supreme's move was really nice. Grove Bow as well, by the way. Grove Bow on the Monkey King for the Maelstrom procs for the magic resist. Hey, it ends up getting him those kills.
Yeah. A lot more magic damage. I'm surprised that they were still able to play so aggressively, considering you traded 1 for 2 in bottom lane. I thought HighCoast would be the ones in the power position, as they're going to go for the power play here, killing Hanskin with the double ultimate. Nico, Baby, hiding away in the trees. He doesn't have a TP up for 20 seconds on HighCoast. I believe they know this now. Certainly with Nico, Baby being caught like this. Big kill. No chance for a battle trance either. HighCoast, they're around the Roshan pit here, Fog. This could be the beginning of a bit of momentum for them.
Yeah, they do. They still have the books summoned out. They're dead, right? Yeah, no books. They do at least have the board. They have healing warded down for quite some time. They should be able to start it, though.
This may at least
Bam coming in.
Force a reaction of some kind. Limp is going to be around, constantly spamming out spells. This is going to be a risky move if they fully commit. It looks like they're not going to. FNG comes out. See if they can grab somebody here. Nope. They just have to fully back up. They're just not strong enough, Fog. Even though they found an opportunity, they found a big mistake where they killed Nico, Baby, but they can't really fully capitalize off of it. They're just too far down from this laning phase.
Yeah, their books were actually killed, so they couldn't get it into the pit to be able to finish it up. If they had the books, then they can actually finish that. But now, with the full squad of Alliance swinging over, now Alliance might be the ones to just start the rush, because Nico, Baby, as you pointed out, did not use the battle trance in the last one. He'll have it up for this next fight. I think that was intentional also, that he kind of held on to it.
Yeah, he was probably just kind of dead either way. The Necronomicon units might be able to get there in time to be able to spot Roshan going down, but the Monkey King, he's got to jump now if he wants to be able to do so, and it's a little bit too late. Now he's inside the pit with no way out, and Wukong's command is only going to help him survive for so long. He's stuck. The coil grabbing several heroes of HighCoast so they can keep pursuing. Nico, Baby, leading in charge here, already dealing with the healing ward. Going to be able to catch the Rubik, who was stunned up by the Spike Carapace with the Nyx Assassin. Crystal Maiden, TP, he's good, but still losing 2, and more importantly, losing control of the Roshan pit. Make that 3 as Chessie was relocated on. Good read from Hanskin, finding the extra kill.
Uh-oh. That was their hope to come back in this one. Now it's a 12,000 lead in such a quick manner. As Limp with a beautiful setup in the back there. As soon as, it was definitely just a miscoordination coming out from HighCoast too, is he jumped in on the Monkey King. They got coiled in the back trying to follow up, and they're just completely split the fight.
Omni Slash bounces over. Oh no, he stuck onto a range creep, killed it, and then Alliance was out of range. So he tried to make real, I guess, liberal usage of that Omni Slash with the DD to see if he can get a kill, but doesn't pay out for him. Fortunately, doesn't die, but they still lose that tier 2.
And now they have to play versus such incredibly farmed chords who already have had this huge lead the whole time. Now S4 has the Crimson Guard after that Atos that he did build. Outpost going to be taking everyone on Alliance. Pretty rich, and HighCoast starting to feel pretty out of this game. Starting to feel really tough for this Jug and this Monkey King to really do much of anything after they've just never had any lead in this game. It's literally just been Alliance the entire time dictating and just keeping that lead very constant.
I'm pretty sure you can kind of poke at high ground here of Alliance.
Yep.
You can force him back maybe, but you still have 3 minutes of Aegis timer here with already a ton of map control thanks to all these tier 2s that immediately fell.
Yeah, they can look to play sentries, have your IO troll paired up, and you guys can still. I think Alliance can still play very aggressively around this jungle here. If HighCoast does look to swing over there, they're just going to bring the 5. They can just relocate over. So for HighCoast, maybe looking to set up a smoke play and just try to catch the 2 bottom could be an option. It's still tough because of how big Nico Baby is, but let's see as Charlie.
Troll's pretty fast. Troll can certainly catch him, but look at this, the smoke. It's all a bait. They're going to try and catch the IO here, but eventually they're going to be forced to commit to go on to Nico Baby. This leads to an opportunity for relocate out, potentially. Though they manage to grab him right as he jumps in. The Wukong's command, it's out. Can they kill Hanskin really quickly before he gets out of the ring? He does manage to do so. Nico Baby has popped his ultimate and is chasing away, but is being kited expertly by this team. But Monkey King's left inside of his pit. He's got the Jingu stacks, but he doesn't have the boundless strength to be able to heal up, and ultimately Nico Baby's just too strong for them to be able to fight. What an entrance from Lip, catching the back line once again. He's always there to catch them on the retreat. So as a result, HighCoast trying to go for a next level move, going for the IO +1 play, instead are going to lose 4.
It was the right play for them to do. Just Alliance they were ready. They set up so quickly. The instant TP is just reading the map perfectly, and just know the only way HighCoast has a chance to come back in the game if they can actually isolate the 2 of them. And now onto high ground. Their power is really just showing in every single one of these fights.
Yeah, Charlie knows he can't fight, so he's just getting what he can out of the map. Takes the mid-tier 1 tower, but he is going to be watching that bottom lane of Barracks die from the fountain.
I love watching Limp when he's playing his super comfortable heroes. Like, he just makes so much happen, and he's, like you said, the frequency of coils in this game felt like he coiled every single one of the cooldowns in a perfect attempt. Like, he's just always been there to break HighCoast whenever they do have a hope. As Nico Baby, 6-1 and 9, just charging at the Monkey King, charging at anybody he sees on the map.
Yeah, that was something that was nerfed recently too. Level 1 coil is 10-second longer cooldown than it was before. Didn't feel that way with the way Limp was playing, because he was just, the second it was off, he was searching for kills, searching for pickoffs, and now it's 20,000 net worth lead. That is monstrous at 26 minutes.
Especially with a Troll who just has a fantastic core matchup. Says the Omni will catch S4 on the front.
Yeah, and maybe they can actually burst him down, but they're going to have a hard time. Okay, the Primal Roar going down. They need to be able to help Charlie, but he's quickly just taken down by Nico Baby. He pretty much runs over anybody he encounters. Next is going to be Zibe, who's hiding in the trees best he can. Please, God, no. But it is too late and too gone. This game for HighCoast. They are certainly going to struggle to hold this high ground. Even worse if they lose more cores outside of the base, and that's going to be Supreme now dying thanks to the setup from FNG.
Onto the high ground. Aaron does still have Nether Toxin stolen. We'll slow them down a little bit. But with Monkey King dead for 40, this is looking like a pretty easy Rax. And they also will have Coil again up in 30 seconds. Alliance is still very ready to fight, and HighCoast may have to just bow out of this one any moment now.
Yeah, with their cores dead for this long, and I mean, maybe they could have gone 50, 60 minutes on a more even net worth, but not in this game. Once again, Alliance just proving to be the superior team by being able to take control of the game for the first 5 minutes and never really letting it go.
Nico Baby.
All right.
With the battle trance is forced onto the T4s. He'll have to back away with the BKB. A little bit of respect given.
On the verge of going 0-4 here, HighCoast on their last stand against Alliance. I think 0-4 is pretty much, I think that is, I believe, absolutely guaranteed eliminated from lower division. Or at best, maybe some sort of tiebreaker, but
yeah, it's looking grim for sure. Just some really hard matchups. It's just I mean, they're playing versus really good teams. It's really hard. As the last effort feels like this is the last effort smoke trying to catch when they are split up at all. But Nico Baby is a monster. He still has BKB cooldown and Battle Trance cooldown. And let's see.
They're going to go for S4 again. At the same time, roaring up FNG. Managed to get off the spike carapace. And looks like this time around, S4 is not going to die inside of the ring. He managed to tank up through the Omni Slash as well, thanks to Hanskin, who's still being run down by Charlie. Managed to get that kill. The Rod of Atos put to good use here. The Monkey King going to turn and fight, but because he's broken, has no chance to be able to get that lifesteal. And with no Omni Slash, and Nico Baby now here in the middle of the engagement. High Coast don't really have much of a hope left to be able to stop this tide that is rolling in. Alliance members streaming into the base now, looking to be able to take Megas. They're gonna poke and prod as they can. Nice by Carapace. That's gonna be able to catch Zibe as he tried to just kind of get whatever damage he could. Immediately an Abyssal Blade onto Era as well. They're gonna leave poor old Chessie Beastmaster for last, and that's it. GG Alliance. Looking pretty hot here against High Coast. Sadly, though, High Coast have just not been able to put together the kind of caliber play against, honestly, some of the best teams in the world, right? This is why we love being able to cover the European DPC, the upper division, because, I mean, Europe has just been such a strong region for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, this is just this series was tough, honestly. Alliance just. We didn't get to see the draft order this game, but man, I don't know when they got Troll, but this Troll pick looks way too damn good in the game versus the 3 cores that he's playing versus Beastmaster, Monkey King, and Jug. It just looks like one of the most, like a last pick Troll. So I didn't get to see when it was picked, but it looks phenomenal. And Alliance with this Puck and with the Viper, just with these versatile kind of heroes that can switch things up, it works out perfectly. All 3 lanes, pretty dominant for them, and just in the mid game too, limp absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, with the last pick, Wraith King in game 1, and a 4th pick, Troll, it seems like they're just giving Nico Baby, you know, the classic Alliance. Just get him into a comfortable position, and he'll take over the rest. And that's exactly what happens with the 2-0 to the favor of Alliance.
Indeed, Alliance definitely ran away with this one. 2-0 clean victory as well, as we are going to break down that last game and talk to the winners after this.
With the right CPU, you can turn any game from familiar to phenomenal. Unleash the potential in all your gaming with Intel 10th Gen processors. With its optimal balance of threads, cores, and frequency to deliver elite real-world performance, only Intel can bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game PC optimizations. Supercharge your Marvel's Avengers experience with Intel Core i5, i7, and i9 processors.
My name is Jordan Gilbert, aka Nothing.
Hi, my name is Sue Lee. My handle is Smix. I think it's important for these initiatives to happen. Empathy really, really goes a long way, and it always means so much to us, and I think that's where initiatives like this really help.
I encourage everyone in the community, anytime they see bullying, anytime they see someone getting called names, I encourage you to step up and say something.
Good luck, have fun.
Good luck, have fun.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.